Hello ladies and gents, this is another video brought to you by AntHut, and today is going to be another painfully honest product review of the AntHut Modular Nest. And you guys have got no idea how hard that was, because that's like 4 takes, because I kept on saying AntHut. I'm terrible. Anyway, I'm talking rubbish again, as I always do. Right, I have spent quite a fair bit of time talking to AntHut, or AntHut. No, that's me again, Jesus, AntHut. Yeah. The guy that makes these. I've spent a lot of time talking to him, and his main ethos is about being environmentally friendly. So this plastic that it's made out of is all biodegradable. What is wrong with me today? So getting down to the crux of it, we've got a red filter for all of them, and they've got a white interior modular, which is really good because it fits snug as a bug in a rug. And there's no looseness in there, which is really good. It's white, so it doesn't matter what species you put in it, you're going to get a good contrast, even with the red filter. These are the stoppers. Now, these stoppers, well, I won't lie, guys, I'm a bit dubious, because if you've seen my other video, which I'll put a link in the top right corner now of my Nikos escaping, they chomped through thick plastic to get out. Now, these is quite soft, rubbery plastic. The chap that makes them, AntHut, yes, got it right. He says he's had his Nikos in these for many years with different Connollys and have never chewed through them. So I'm going to go with what he says and say cool, but I am a bit dubious. So just be mindful of that. Now, as you can tell, having a modular design, you can take these apart. They connect fairly snugly. They are 3D printing, so if you keep messing around with the connections, they're going to get a bit worn, I think, because it's only soft plastic at the end of the day. Now, I'm not a massive fan of 3D printed stuff, but I like these. I do like these, to be fair. I think they're fairly robust. I think they're well made, well measured out, and well thought out as well. So I'm going to give these a benefit of the doubt, and this is what I like about them as well, is that you can fit them in any way you wish. You can fit them side by side like you've seen, fit them like that. So technically speaking, you can make a massive, huge, humongous nest with these because they're so modular, and I just love it. And these inserts, I've talked about with him potentially changing them so you could get ones that better suit the species. For example, you can like have ones that produce 50% humidity, some that produce 80% humidity, all down to the mesh that's in them. Now, these are designed to be taken out if you needed to change it. Now, the glass, I have not attempted to take them out yet, but they seem pretty flimsy to me, so I don't want to brave it. But he has got a tool that he's looking to put on his website so you can scoop them out. And if you do break them, they're easily replaced because they are just microscope slides, glass slide thingy majiggies, so they're readily available. You can pick them up 10 to the pound, so if you do take the break one, it's not a massive drama. Cost wise, for a single module is £10 plus postage. To me, that's not too bad for a single nest when you think that most foundation nests are around that price, sometimes about £15. So that's not bad. Now, if you want to get an ever expanding Connolly and you get like the 3 module pack, it's 30 quid, or at the moment £23.98. So if you're upscaling, this is going to get quite expensive. But equally, if you get this for a foundation stage and you need to get a bigger nest for your ants, you can just stick the modules together, and you don't need to worry about moving your ants, unnecessarily stressing them out. You just connect a new module, Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your auntie, you're done. I mean, like I said, I do love the design of this because he's thought about a lot of things. Like if you look underneath it, there you go, you can see there's a ditch there, or a raised part of it, and they all connect, and that is for putting your heating cable through, and it's separate from your humidity area, as you can see here, which means you can have a heating cable. You don't need to worry about it evaporating all your water per se, like you would if it was directly heating your water, which obviously then affects your humidity. Now, I'll talk about the humidity and what I've done with my experimentation with this shortly, but I think that's a really good idea because they're going to sit flush with the ground like this, and as you'll see in a second, here we go, I get my heating cable and I put it through, and it sits nice and flush, no rocking, no shaking, no nothing. That is a stroke of genius. I love it. And not only that though, because it's at one end of your nest, you've got that natural gradient of heat, so you've got it hot in where you want it at one side, and at the other side you get the cooling down, so it will give the gradient that the ants like. Brilliant. Now this is the bit I don't like, is once you've got them connected end to end like this, you can only fit them around one way, which means the heat cable goes down the middle. Now if you try and turn it around, so the heat cable at the other side, they won't fit together, not with the base on anyway, which to me I don't like, because if I'm going to make a heat cable and I'm going to want to make a gradient, I want it to be hot around the edges and cooler in the middle, I can't do that because I'm going to have the heat cable go down one end then down up the middle. That's not ideal. Don't know how you can go about it, but in fact I do know how you can go about it. Yeah, I'm going to tell you about it now. Right, there's no bum end on this bit, there's no bit sticking out where the heat cable goes. Now if you look at this humidity bit here, as you've seen by other people do their reviews, and I'll link them in the description because they're probably better reviewers than I am, it just heats the heat cable side. Look, it doesn't even go into the humidity area, it just heats the heat cable. It's pointless. Now I spoke to the chap that made these, and his idea was that when he got a U-tong insert for it, that would be how to hydrate it, but it's never happened. But I don't know how that works. He's the engineer, I'm not. So anyway, so my logic is why not make the other end, cut that little lip off, and then, like, see, flip it round, cut the end off, so now I can put the heat cable either side. You don't need this little lip. I mean, it doesn't do anything apart from block it. Yes, it might give you better access, but that little feeding tray point that I put in, you can now use that to humidify the main bit because you flipped it around. So you don't need a little lip, and it's just being restrictive. So why bother? Seriously. Now I've literally thought of this like just now while making this video, so I've not discussed it with anybody. Hopefully AntHut, that's me, AntHut, will look into it and change its design slightly. Can't imagine it being much of an issue, but I think it'll just help with the variety or the flexibility of this nest is the word I'm looking for. Now you could say the humidity on the inserts would be the wrong way around, but you could just take the glass off, flip it around, job done. Now the hydration system is a really basic system and I love it. It's got a medium in there, which is some stuff. There you go, you put it in and then you just hydrate it. It's easy to look after as long as there's water in there and it's moist, which I can see by the eye through those holes, then I know it's hydrated. But here's the clever part, is that when you look at the base, it looks solid, as you can see here, but when I use my zoom on it, like here, you can clearly see there's loads of micro holes in it, and the humidity goes in through there, and then it goes in to the nest via the insert holes, which you'll see here. Now I did some experimenting with the humidity. Now when I humidified module 1, it lasted for about a week, then it started to steadily drop off. Now module 2, when I tested that had a humidity 15% less than the first module, and then again module 3 was about 15% less than module 2, so 30% from the first main module. Now this is good as far as I'm concerned, because I've got a good consistent amount of drop off of humidity, so if I stick my probe in the middle one, I can gauge where I'm at. And definitely guys, doesn't matter if you've got native ants or not, when you're dealing with something like this, you want to put a probe in it so you can gauge where your ants are at. Now he does do an alternative to the Biformica feeders, and to tell you the truth, brilliant. A lot cheaper. I've used them on my Nikos, you can see here, which are fairly large ant, and they can get easy access into it as well. There's a little mesh underneath it, 3D printed mesh underneath the container, which is how it works and how it doesn't all leak out. But we all use these because we don't want our ants to drown in the honey. This is a great alternative to the Biformica because it's cheaper. What I would like to see them do though is give me some larger ones. These Nikos destroyed the small amount of honey in there. I want bigger ones. Ow. Now AntHut's main objective is to be biodegradable and recyclable, which all of it is, but I just hope that it hasn't sacrificed quality of material to get that objective. Now I love the modules, I love the design, wish they would have made out something more robust, but that's my personal opinion. Don't like 3D printed stuff, and I'm hoping he proves me wrong, so I'm waiting to see on that one. Now there's a link in my description to his webpage, and if you go via that link, it lets it know you've come from me. And if you've come from me, that means that I'll get like 1% of the sale money, which is like nothing. But what I will do if I get a significant amount is buy products, because it's just store credit, like off there, like one of the modules, and then I'll put it on a competition to give it to my viewers. Because like I said guys, I always spend my own money on this stuff, and I'd rather if I make money out of it, I'd rather put it back into the hobby or back into my fan base, which is you guys. So that would be my objective. I did say to give you guys a discount, but I don't think you could really do that, but never mind. Anyway, I've got to go because I want to do a video of me moving ants into this setup. So I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.